There's that doorway back there. I want to have that be extra dark so that the viewer looks up there, kind of increase that value contrast at that point. You know, a lot of my demos I talk about like using value contrast. That's one of the main ways that I like to, or tools that I use to help control the viewer's eye and put that in the focal point so the viewer knows where to look and they just naturally look where I want them to. Um, there's a lot of different types of areas of contrast or ways of creating contrast to help with that, um, to move the eye throughout the piece. Value contrast is just the easiest one of them, or most that where our eyes are naturally hardwired for. So I'm trying to make sure like the values feel right, like there's like light and shadow, but look at this part, it feels really just need to get everything covered, get everything onto the piece so that I can refine and start to figure out like what needs to change, what needs to be better. So it's just kind of getting it all established, which can be a little bit time consuming with something like this, just because of all that structure from the architecture and all that detail. I think that's like almost pure white. I think I put a little bit of warmth into it so that um, so it's not just white, but that helps create that pull us back there. And there's like just subtle like corners and things that like seem to flatten out or could be flattening out. If the light's hitting it just right, you can see the value on the same on both sides, both faces. But it's good to favor one or the other and kind of darken or lighten one or the other so that there's a very distinct difference, so so you can see the corners. So give an emphasis or priority to one over the other, kind of being consistent throughout your piece, something that you should kind of consider and choose and push. That door, um, you know, minus the blue, like this, I can all the colors I can use just the Zorn palette, to get these. And so having that blue helps to get that feeling and to get that saturation. Um, but that Zorn palette using just your yellow ochre and alizarin crimson and some um, a little bit of blue or whatever to get that tan door, that brown door in the sand. It adds more white to it. That'll help kind of bring the whole thing together. Um, but everything's pretty much covered except for now just getting those warm tones from the sand and the door. I gotta put out some more paint so I can keep painting. But um, kind of moving along. And I'm going to start to imply some of those other details that I haven't put in there yet. And I still haven't got the tans in there. I'm wanting to try to clarify and get the archways and those little, I don't even know like all the terminology of stuff, but all those little architectural details of, but at the base of the arches, and then the pillars and things that are there, give the weathering and helping to clarify the different planes and corners of each little building. It's really funny. These doors are so close together. I'm assuming that three different people live in each one of those doors. That it's not one family that's like three different doors really close to each other. But no, it's really kind of interesting. Yeah, there's our darkest dark back there, so that helps pull us up into it. But um, it seems like I haven't even, I guess I didn't go as dark as I thought I could. It looks like a lot of this place, like this, the wall and the building is eroded and kind of been worn down over the years, and they just paint over it, and it's just kind of covered it up and maybe started to preserve it because you can see a lot of these different textures that seems that they those Spanish tiles for like the roof um, that are kind of hinting at there, but they painted over them the little awning or little cover over the door. Um, yeah, let's move on to get the door in there. One thing that can be kind of hard by having areas of the painting that are big areas of painting that haven't been painted yet or established, like this door and the sand, have it be such a saturated orange that it can kind of mess with uh, the overall feeling of the piece. So without having like that, it more covered, more accurate to what like the final is, it can be challenging to really know if how everything else is working in the piece, um, or not working in some cases, I guess. So it's good to kind of get things covered as soon as possible to be able to really establish and see if how things are working, that we can kind of react, um, maybe emotionally or just kind of by the feeling of those elements and themes in the piece. Yeah, I like this door. Even though I don't necessarily want that to be the main focus, but I like that it's like it seems that it's open. You get like the shadow that's there, and kind of again hinting at some type of storytelling element. And I'm painting like the darker browns in there first, because then when I come to paint the lighter on top, it'll kind of help to show that weathering. You can see like this. I don't know if it's like this, just from like the water, and it kind of has some like the minerals and stuff that's kind of seeping out and giving some nice weathering, really cool looking stuff. And there's the top of all the surfaces, the sand or dirt. I don't know. You can kind of see like just in like that stroke how, because I painted the darker surface first and then came back on top, I can allow like the dry brush, um, to kind of help emphasize some of that texture, um, and make and get imply that weathering and things without having to be too particular about it.